Something to get recognition for things that you do anyway, and don't expect to have anyone identify it as being significant because you do it because you're of service because you love being of service. And so to be recognized for it, it's appreciated, but it wasn't something I expected. But my wife said, just appreciate the award for what it represents. It's not just you, it's the organization, it's Oregon State, it's Emory University now, it's any and everything you've been associated with. So be happy that so many people have been affected by your service.
One thing that was really helpful was Pellom. I emailed him and said, hey, I'd really like to nominate you for this award, but I know I can read your bio on Emory University's website, and I get a lot of stuff from the Kansas City Chiefs. But his ability, his vita is just incredible. The things he's done for everyone, especially African Americans in Atlanta, in Kansas City, just being a published author and those sorts of things, you just made him an incredible potential candidate for this.
I had approached my everyday professional career with my eye towards the future. And so part of what I did was, on my Tuesdays, my days off, I would work on myself. In other words, I would, either go to school when I was at UMKC, pursuing a master's degree, or I was developing new businesses based on my interest in graphic design. But I also spent time in the community because I thought for kids especially to have access to information, if they were interested in art, to have access to art supplies. If I could in some ways affect the community that supported me, that I would try to do that the best I could. So, football for me was my profession, but I also had to have an eye towards the future for my future occupation, but also be concerned about the community that I lived in. My primary objective coming to Oregon State was to make sure that I graduated from college. When I played here in the 80s, we weren't a very good football team, and I was provided with an opportunity to come on and play early as a freshman. And I played, but had an injury, then I had a second injury, and then my freshman year was done before I knew it. But still, my objective was to make sure that I graduated from college. And so I spent every semester, we were in a quarter system, so every quarter I stayed here. So I spent 3 summers in Corvallis. I had a chance to have great friends, both on the football team and student body. Probably one of the most important mentors that I had here was Mr. Valente, Paul Valente. My freshman year, that summer I spent up here, I was working on the grounds crew, and we were working on the baseball field. And he took me out and taught me how to play golf. And I learned how to play golf from Mr. Valente because he said, one day, Pellom, when you're playing professional football and, people make these big deals on golf courses, you got to know how to play the game. You don't have to be a professional at it. You just have to know which iron to pick up. You have to know how to putt. You have to know the language of the game. That's going to help you out in the future. So, it wasn't just about football. It was about setting myself up for the rest of my life, taking the lessons where they were provided. I absolutely love football. It is the place where it's all about the truth. You can't lie on film. You got to put it all out there every play, at one play at a time. And at the end of the game, when they're all zeros on the clock, the truth will be there. The truth will be there. You can't lie. You can't hide from that eye in the sky. So all I can tell you, if you want anything inspirational for me, is lay it on the line, brother. Let it go. Let it go. Play lights out. That's all that matters. To step on this field, which is, the development over the last 25 years and the success and the coaches and the players who come through, and to, for this particular game where we beat, Oregon 28 years ago, I want to say, 26 years ago. It's a huge, emotional kind of, it's a place where I hadn't imagined, because I never thought about coming back to Oregon State. I don't know why, but to come back on this particular day with the Civil War game where we actually, succeeded back in '88, the game is so important today. For anyone who teaches at all levels, the amount of preparation that goes into preparing a lesson plan, to understanding the capacity of every student in your class. I mean, when I had a course of 170 students when I taught History 101, I had to figure out how to know faces and know names to the best of my ability because there are students who needed to be challenged on a daily basis. And so to prep for a class and to have students respond to questions or at least be able to identify major concepts, it takes a lot of energy. But to have them actually participate fully, that's what's gratifying, because there's so much preparation that goes into every class that you teach, and to actually walk away exhausted because the students are challenging you, that's where that's when you know you've done your job.